22.1. We'll be solving quadratic equations by completing the square. And the formula that's needed for completing the square of a quadratic looks like this. Well, first, quadratics come in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. But when we use completing the square, the a that's in front, or whatever number's in front, has to be a 1. So it'll actually look like x squared plus bx plus c equals 0 when we complete the square. The process of completing the square takes the b. Now we need half of the b. Taking half of the b could be two ways. We can say b divided by 2. That'll take half of that number just by putting it over 2. And then we'll raise it to the second power. Now sometimes b comes as a fraction, and this doesn't work. So what we'll do instead is have b here and then just put 1/2 in front of it, and that will take half of the fraction and then square it. This process will complete the square. So here we have x squared minus 8x plus 7 equals 0. The first step is to remove the c to the other side. So minus 7, and what are we doing one side, you're doing the other. And so what we end up with is an x squared minus 8x equals negative 7. And you see there's space here and here, and we're going to reserve these two spaces. Okay, so let's begin the process. This is our b, and we're going to say negative 8 over 2, which takes half of it, and then we're going to take it to the second power. And this will complete the square. So first, negative 8 divided by 2 gives us negative 4 to the second power. And then to the second power gives us a negative 4 times a negative 4, which becomes 16. And 16 is the number that we're going to put on both sides. So again, we have x squared minus 8x equals negative 7. And we're going to introduce a 16 to both sides. So what are we doing? One side, plus 16, you put on the other side, plus 16. Okay, now this will factor into two binomials. X squared factors into x times x, 16 factors into 4 times 4, and to get a negative 8, you have to have negative and negative. A negative 7 and a 16, that ends up being a 9. Okay. Now I'm going to collapse these two into one exponential, and this will be x minus 4 all to the second power. That equals 9. Now I'm going to preserve the integrity of this part right here and write it over. X minus 4 squared equals 9. And now we're going to begin the process of solving for x. We'll have to get rid of the square and then the negative 4, and then we'll have x by itself. So to get rid of the square, we're going to take the square root of both sides. This will eliminate the square. We'll be doing one side, doing the other. But when you introduce square roots in an equation, you have to use plus and minus because it delivers two answers rather than one. So this eliminates the square, and you now have only x minus 4. And the plus and minus are here, but 9, the square root of 9 simplifies to a 3. And now this gives us two parts. The first part will be x minus 4 and the positive 3. So it equals positive 3. The other side will be x minus 4, but the negative 3. Okay, now let's begin to solve. When I solve this side, I'll add 4 to both sides, and I'll get x equals 7. On this side, I'll add 4 to both sides, and here I'll get x equals positive 1. And those are my two solutions. Now, just to confirm, if I square 7, I'll get 49. And 49 added to 7 is going to be 56. Okay. And then negative 8 times 7 is going to be negative 56. So positive 56 and negative 56, that's 0. Now, if x were 1, 1 squared is 1, and then 1 added to 7 makes 8. Then negative 8 times 1 is negative 8, and that positive 8 with this -8 will also give you 0. So these check out as solutions.